All right, currently Venus is at 15 degrees in about 45, 46 seconds. Uranus is in 16 degrees, so I would have put Venus, because it's at the last few minutes of being in the 15-degree mark, I would have put that, but I only have one yellow 16, so they will be exactly conjunct tomorrow. But they are right now looking like this, 15 and 16 degrees, so they're still close to conjunction. A conjunction is between 2 degrees of any planet that are in the same sign, so they're both in Taurus, between Venus and Uranus. Again, Venus is an individual planet. Uranus is a collective planet because it's further out. Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto are the furthest out planets, so they take longer. That's why Uranus is going to be here at 16 degrees for another couple of months till it moves to 17 degrees. Then it'll retrograde again. It's literally not going to change to Gemini until 2024, I believe. And we've been with Uranus and Taurus since 2011, I believe. Don't quote me on those dates. I didn't have them ready. But anyway, so themes, things you should look out for, energies with this conjunction, Venus conjunct Uranus and Taurus. This is a transit, which means it's short-lived, but it is going to affect us for about, because Venus moves quickly and Uranus moves slowly. Let's give it like 3 days. So it'll be exact tomorrow. It's been affecting us for the past 3 days, exact tomorrow. Maybe 3 more days, 2 more days, I would say after that. It's like a total of 6 days of this energy. So through the weekend, and then we're pretty much done. But number one theme, and all of these themes hit home, because what's funny is when I'm talking about the Pluto, let me go back to this really quick. So Venus, and Venus rules Taurus. So that's where I was going. Venus rules Taurus. And when it's in Scorpio, it is in its detriment because Scorpio is the opposition sign of Taurus. Uranus rules Aquarius, which what is Pluto's in. And because Pluto rules Scorpio, when Uranus is in Scorpio, it's exalted because Pluto is a transformational planet. But Uranus is the planet of surprise, the planet of rebellion, the planet of unexpectancy. So that is why unexpectedly you might go through these themes that I'm getting ready to discuss with Venus and Taurus. So for example, with this first theme, I'm going to love what I love. I'm going to love what I love. For example, go-go. Yes, I was in the club, which is go-go music is like music that is DC derived. So a lot of people know about it, but not most. So because it's really only established here in DC, Washington, DC, and it came out in the 70s. So anyway, I'm gonna love what I love, and one of those things is go-go. And I'm not so heavily in it like I used to be, but I still love listening to it. I'm gonna love who I love. A lot of the people that I've chosen to be partners with, in a relationship with, a lot of other people wouldn't have, let's say, approved. But that's because I'm gonna love who I want to love. I'm gonna love when I want to love, or I'm going to do things when I want to do them. Talking to the people that I support. But Venus also represents finances, so let's go there. I'm going to use money when I want to use money, where I want to use money. I can do the rest of them with it. How I want to use money and why I want to use money, because it's mine, or because it's also not real, like time. And I know this might go above some people's heads, but that's what Uranus does. Uranus is a surprise. Uranus is rebellious. So when I say things like, I'm going to use my money or my finances, Venus derived, when and where and why and how I want to, I mean that. I'm an individual. I'm unique. Uranus energy. I have Uranus in Scorpio, so I'm a little bit more intense and elevated with my rebellion, with my uniqueness, with my innovation. And so that is why I do money and love the way I want to. And it's cool to tap into this. I know that since I have Venus in Scorpio and I have Uranus in Scorpio, that would make mine conjunct, but I think they're not conjunct because my Venus is in the first realm, like around 90 degrees, and my Uranus is in the second realm. So I'm sure they were conjunct later on as Venus moved through Scorpio. But yeah, I can definitely vouch for these themes right now happening when I was born. So they're embedded in me via my birth chart. All right, let's move on. Theme number 2. I'm going to experiment and explore what I love or want through finances my own way, right? Some things, examples of this is, I love what makes me me. That's why I call myself TMZ. That's why I do what I want on these social medias. I also have a fixed Mars. My Mars is in Leo. So I got a lot of fixed energy. It can be stubborn, but the good thing about being a Scorpio is that we like to transform, even if we're stubborn, even if we're trying to be controlling, which is another fixed trait. Scorpios still want to transform that control to different levels, especially of intensity. So I love being conscious and aware. That is something that I experiment with online and explore. I explore the knowledge that I have about the various things that I know about, and I stand by my name Zakia, which means intelligent in Arabic. Y'all know I'm gonna say that every time. So I don't get repetitive with how I do and live out here. There's more to life. That is why we explore. That is why we experiment, because we only live one life, and that is real. That's not just a saying, but we also need to experiment while we only have this one life. We also we reincarnate. You know, I go back a lot, double back a lot, because there's higher than things I'm even saying right now. There's more realms and more avenues, but especially with experimenting and exploring, it's literally time to just make yourself more aware of things. You don't have to limit your beliefs. You don't have to stay in a box because the fixed energy tells you to. You can transform it. You can expand on it. Lesson number 3, and there's 6, y'all. So let me go through them a little bit faster. I'm going to wild out, so fuck it. Uranus energy. If you know any if you know any Scorpios and Aquariuses. If you know any Aquariuses, Uranus rules Aquarius, even though it's in Taurus. It's really, Taurus hates. Taurus is in its fall. That's what I want to say. So when Uranus is in Taurus, it's in its fall. And when it's in Scorpio, the opposition sign, it's in its exaltation. Again, when it's in Venus, it's home. And when it's in Scorpio, when Venus is in Scorpio, it's not in fall, it's in its detriment. So fall and detriment are like just not being at your best. And exaltation and being ruled by, because you're at home, Venus is at home in Taurus, is good. Let me not use the word good. It's evolving. It's at its best, okay? So it's funny how Venus is in Taurus is in Venus and Uranus, right? But it's not comfortable in Uranus. When Venus is over here in Taurus's opposite sign in Scorpio, it's not comfortable there, but Uranus is comfortable over there. Hopefully that made sense. So yes, going back to number 3 again. I'm going to wild out, so fuck it. Okay. Those who know me, I'm not my past, y'all, but I still have them tendencies, right? Everybody gets triggered. Everybody, especially Scorpios, we have these levels where we can be an eagle and soar, but we can come back down and get our prey. While we're down here as Scorpios sting while they're down on crawling around the ground, right? Waiting to sting someone that they're in reach of. But when you're at that Phoenix level, you're flying so high, you've already burnt your old self. You've already dealt with your past. You're so exalted that you're not doing those things that you've done. You're not stinging anybody. You're not waiting to find the person to get your revenge on like eagles do. Nonetheless, you can be so high sometimes that you miss that toxicity, like I said, and you get back down to Scorpio level or eagle level. So we all know that I could be a bitch sometimes. I do like to control things sometimes. And I'm working on that, and I'm doing beyond working on that. I'm changing it. I could even be narcissistic, have some narcissistic tendencies sometimes. And the love of my life, Lord Hikasora, used to say that to me a lot, and it made me upset. It triggered me. But I know I have those tendencies. So Venus conjunct Uranus. Remember, there's no good or bad, but they have these energies. So it's best after we've gotten into an argument, and we've been in an argument for almost 2 weeks now, that we are not in each other's presence right now, because I could probably come across as not caring, and I don't want that. She has Venus in Scorpio too, and she's a Sagittarius, so this is like a freeing type of energy as well. Hence, again, Uranus deals with rebellion as well as uniqueness. So that's kind of freeing too, right? Aquarius energy, Uranus energy is freeing. Now, Taurus likes control. So do Aquarius, though. You know, all our fixed signs like control. Leos, too. So it's not that we don't care. It's just that we need this time to be free. We need this transit to be free. If there could be a sound effect that I had attached like I used to when I did these episodes, when I had my desktop, but I would put the sound effect, I'm free, or one of them free songs, free. I'm gonna find one for this. Number 4 is my absolute favorite out of this great energy but toxic soundings in some kind of ways. Number 4 is me over we, and I can't wait to write this when I do the editing. Me over we. Do y'all remember the show You from Netflix? And again, shout out to Achyut Dabava, who I watched his episode on what I'm talking about right now, Venus conjunct Uranus and Taurus. And he gave me these themes to go over in my own way. But we're both using the example of the show You. So I've kind of given my own excerpts on what he taught me today about this transit and what I know about these 2 planets and this sign of Taurus. But we're both using the example of You, the show. You, the show. I forgot the head actor's name, not his real name, his acting name. But the guy is a Scorpio in real life and portrayed as a Scorpio on the show too. So perfect. Shout out to the what do you call it? The people that hire the actors, whatever. So again, Venus is in its fall in Scorpio, but it's in home. It's at home in Taurus, right? So when Venus is exalted in Uranus and its fall in Taurus, it brings the same kind of energy of this Venus conjunct Uranus transit. For example, when Venus is conjunct Pluto in one of the fixed signs, it's like I'm in love with my stalker. Because remember, Venus talks about love, or I'm in love with my finances like a stalker. Like I like my finances to be stalked. I like everybody to see my finances. Like I like to be Big Willie. I'm the guy in the club with the money, taking pictures with all the girls around. That's Venus conjunct Pluto. So Venus conjunct Neptune, Neptune being the planet of illusions, is like I'm in love with something that's not real. I'm in love with something that's ending, and I think it's going to be a new beginning. Pisces energy, right? Neptune is the ruler of Pisces. Venus conjunct Neptune, I'm in love with illusions. I'm unconsciously in love. Drunk in love. That's Venus conjunct Pluto, and Venus conjunct Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus. We're talking about the outer planets conjunct the individual. So it's literally the individual having some collective type of energy. So everybody in the collective is getting this energy, but as an individual, we're taking it in different ways. But these are the types of ways you would take it with these planets that we're discussing. Now, last, back to Venus conjunct Uranus. This is like the show you, the psychotic, the unpredictable, the unique and charming, but rebellious love, right? This is, I'm in love with a person I just met who I'm going to run away with, even though I have this kind of relationship. That's the example that Achuda Bible gave. I said I'm in love with this uniquely different being who wouldn't give me, who others wouldn't give a look at. Or I'm in love with being wild and rebellious. Or I would run off and elope with someone. That's this kind of energy. Where there's nothing wrong with that, because sometimes those things work out and sometimes you're getting annulled months later. This is just the urge to be free energy, the urge to explore, wild out, do whatever you want, all the things I named right before this one, number 4, me versus we. So me versus we, again, Venus is the me, Uranus is the we, all the other outer planets are the we. And it's like, I'm going to be an individual, but I still care about you in the weirdest way. In the weirdest way, because the we is, how did we get together in the weirdest way? The me is whom all of us are me's, right? All of us are individuals. All of us are we's in groups, in relationships. Uranus represents groups. Aquarius energy is groups. Again, we're in Taurus. So it's not getting totally what it desires when it is being rebellious and wild. Because, again, Taurus is like security. Taurus likes to just have what they want and they need and just be reserved and at home in that fixed energy on that fixed earth. Don't want to go nowhere. This is also like, why should I go on a trip? But this is what Molly said earlier when we were talking about this energy too. Molly McCord. Why should I go anywhere if I'm going to go on the trip to go here, there, and everywhere and then come right back home? If I'm coming back home, I might as well stay home. That's fixed earth energy, okay? Like, I got what I want at home. Why do I need to go anywhere? I'm going to stay my ass right here. Fixed earth. Number 5, shocked just to be shocked. Again, unexpected. Have we not been having unexpected issues or either not even issues, unexpected happenings with money in the last few years? Because I know that unexpectedly, I realized that, and I did this on TikTok earlier, I realized that there's no law that says we have to pay our taxes, and I'm not trying to get in trouble with this. I'm not a financial advisor, of course. This is for educational purposes only. But I found out unexpectedly that I could file exempt, even like I used to when I was in college. And I prefer all my money up front anyway. So unexpectedly, I shocked the payrolls on how much I was getting back because I have free insurance and I don't pay taxes out of my check that I work hard for. Unexpected finances. Unexpectedly, all of us got PPP loans a couple of years back, right? Unexpectedly, we've had all these coins and crypto going on. People are doing unexpectedly well with that. Some people are doing unexpectedly not well. Those kind of Uranus and Taurus energies with finances. I unexpectedly found love this year. Unexpectedly, it's been bumpy. Unexpectedly, we come back together. I expect us to come back together because, bam, Venus conjunct Uranus energy. I'm going to get my babe back before this transit is over. Okay, but shock just to be shocked. This can also be just for a reaction, especially now that we're talking about it. Tomorrow, the moon moves into Leo around early afternoon, early evening, like 4:30-ish Eastern Standard Time. And when that moon moves into Leo, more fixed energy, fixed fire. Like, I'm fixing to burn your ass until I burn through your ass. That's fixed fire, right? So, and then it's in the moon. But it's fun in the moon, which is good because fire energy is inspiring. So once this moon moves to Leo, it will, and it already is, squaring, even though it's in Cancer still. It's in void because it's like in Cancer at 20 degrees, which is the last few degrees, the last realm, which means it's void. So it's not giving off much. It's not aspecting anything else in Cancer. There's nothing in Aries except Mercury in the last decan. That's it. Mercury's in 21 degrees in the last decan. So these two will aspect each other tonight while it's in Cancer, because those are the two cardinal signs. But it's already taken that Leo energy in. But that's nonetheless not too bad. Back to what I was saying. We still care about what others think with this shocking energy, right? But we still want to see. It's like, we don't care, but we still do care. It's like, did I shock you with that? Did I just tell you something that is shocking, or do you want to hear more? Do you believe me to care to hear more? Which leads me into my two examples of the day. So the first example, before I get to the last theme of Venus conjunct Uranus and Taurus, is me being on another break with my love, Lord Hikasora, and coming, just chilling out today, just going, I stayed home and worked from home this morning, and then I went to, this rising, and then I went to work this afternoon, and we went for a walk at the park, me and Zane, my youngest, and came up on a daggone past girlfriend who I was in a poly relationship with her dad with. And yeah, she was looking at her because she ain't seen her in 10 years. It was like, oh, she looks just like y'all now, even more, and blah, blah, blah. And so Zane heard that and was like, well, who was that? And I had to cover it up. But long story short, that was really an opportunity for me to be shocked. But I didn't care for the reaction. Had a nice conversation with her, dapped her up, kept it moving. Ashe 1111. Ashe on that, because I love my baby now. I'm not my past. And even though Venus and Uranus can make me want to say I love who I want to love, I still love who I want to love, and that is Lord Hikasora. If she want to be in a poly relationship, we'll do that together. But I don't want to go and experiment and explore everything. Not even with this transit on my chart. I don't want to wild out with everyone. You know, I don't want to put she over me and we, me and my love, right? My current love. So I didn't want a reaction with that. But what I tell you I want a reaction with is example number 2. So yes, Scorpios and Tauruses, Leos and Aquariuses, all the opposition signs are either a partnership or a hit and want to hit some more. A bump, right? An opposition, an argument. My ex-husband, who was my oldest 2 kids' father, jabbed my son without letting me know. He wasn't able to do it a second time because my son did what I asked him to do, and that was not good anymore. Now he's trying to sneak and do it again. So being that my kids are homeschooled, long story short, they don't need jabs. It's not football season. My son does want to go back and play football, so why would he need to go to the doctor for any reason? Unless he's sick, and he's not. My bad, my ring light went out. So I was talking about us getting into an argument that turned into just pettiness and just wilding out and just stubbornness and just that fixed energy. And it was me, it was him, it was everybody over my son. And so in the last moments of me just trying to beg and plead for him to kind of hear me out about what I'm saying. And he did. He doesn't want to get the jab. Any jabs, whatever kind of jabs they have. For him as a 16-year-old melanated male, he doesn't want. And so, just long story short, the last thing I said to him is, you know, you have to deal with this body, whether I get my way, your dad gets his way. And he's a Libra, so this is why he's so indecisive. He doesn't know which side to tip his scale, my son, but he's a Taurus rising. So, nonetheless, the Taurus and the Scorpio sun, me and my ex-husband's Taurus sun, I'm a Scorpio sun, we had a serious just reaction moment. We had shocking conversation just to see who's reaction, who's tougher, who's more stubborn, who's more stinging. I'm gonna say, of course, that one all the time because of my mouth, but working on that mouth. So that's why I blocked him after I said what I said. And I told him that I would appreciate the respect. And if our son says he doesn't want something, it doesn't have anything to do with what I want or dad wants. It's what DJ wants. And DJ, I love you. And if I gotta get out of DC jail tomorrow night or the next day, I will. So yeah, intense. I'm not playing about mine or their health, period. So those are my two examples. Number 6, to wrap this up, of the conjunction of Venus in Taurus conjunct Uranus in Taurus transit. Number 6 is problems with impulse and control. And I should have saved that, but I wanted to kind of hit this at y'all so we can wrap this up. Especially if you have a hard time with releasing. So, in what I just gave the last example with, I should have saved that last example for this one too, but for example, I'll give another example. The energy between myself that I gave to my love when we had our last argument, which was around the 17th of March. It was Green Day. I ended up holding some things in and impulsively releasing them. So, again, holding things in about my desires and what I desired out of her. And then I just rebelliously let loose. And this is something that can come from this conjunction as well. So that is why I'm trying to give us our space at this time, because certain things, even though this Leo moon will be helpful in lightening the mood and inspiring people, especially to conversate and work on matters of the heart and what we truly want as far as being unique and innovative, and our finances even. We have other things that might not be as nice. I might even have to make the Aries stuff a separate episode, but yeah, you end up doing your release in spurts, right? So release a little bit here, then cut it. So I didn't do that. Instead of me saying a little bit, I said too much. Instead of me saying it in a nice way, in a loving way, in the Venus caring about how I relate to people's way, I didn't. I did it rebelliously and impulsively, as if my love for her didn't matter. And that's why I went to a couple of people to ask them how to make it up, because I know I was wrong. And they confirmed that I was wrong before I even confirmed that I was wrong. But I confirmed that I was wrong, and I just haven't been able to have yet a 5th chance to apologize. So I'm apologizing now. Lord, he is so raw. I do love you, and I apologize for this mouth that releases way too much impulsively. And I vented and I decided at the same time, not putting anything on you anymore at this time because I initiated that, right? I started that mess. So I'm going to take full responsibility for it. I vented and then I decided that I thought in those angry releasing times that I didn't release. I literally took it from Friday night through Saturday. And I didn't release it until I released it all at once. And decided all at once that I wanted it to be ending. And then in the next hour, I didn't. And this is why it's important to release things in spurts and not be impulsive. So, in saying all that, hopefully I have helped myself and others. For this transit will be with us, or has already started with us, for the next few days. Venus conjunct Uranus, especially for people with fixed signs in the sun, the moon, your rising, Venus, Mercury, or Mars, the planets that are individual planets that have to deal with us as individuals and are the closest to the sun. If you have any of those, or if you have the South Node or the North Node in fixed signs, Scorpio, Taurus, Leo, Aquarius, you probably will be feeling this transit the most. Can fixed signs ever get a break? Nah. All right, y'all. So I think that's it. I will come back with more cardinal energy talking about Aries. Aries is, again, we still got 20 more days of Aries, so we can talk more. We'll have plenty more energy. We'll talk especially about Mercury moving into Taurus soon. We'll get back to cardinal energy with Mars and Cancer now. That has a lot to do. And these are sextiling. Mars is sextiling everything in Taurus, water and earth energy. So Mars is actually at its fall in Cancer as well. And that is another episode for another day. We'll get to it though. I appreciate y'all. Please comment, like, subscribe if you already haven't. Thank you for viewing. Please share. Please let me know if I can do your birth charts. I'm in and out of doing that because I'm in and out of energies. But if it's aligned, it will happen. Peace, y'all. Love you and have a great weekend. We're almost at the weekend. It's Friday Eve in a few hours. And wrapping up your March to almost April. So don't be fooled. The new year just began. The new year was about to pop off this weekend. That's what it's actually about to be. That's why they say April 1st is for fools. But if you know, you know. Peace.